Believed to have originated in western Sicily, where Marsala wine is produced, chicken marsala is a fantastic basic dish to learn. It's also fun to say Marsala. Thank you everybody for coming out for another episode of Wake Up Smell the. We got Kitty Kitty over on the scratching post. Dig that. Kitty absolutely hates it when I film her. That's not even a joke. She knows when the camera's out. This next little number goes out to a good viewer of mine who's been watching for quite some time. It's called Chicken Marsala. Let's start out by placing a chicken breast between two pieces of plastic wrap and pretending that a rolling pin is alcohol and that the chicken breast is my liver in college. We're going to turn this into a paillard or an escalope. Either way, it's flattening out the chicken breast so that it is more tender and easier to cook more evenly. Now let's go ahead and take some flour, add some salt and some pepper, and we'll go ahead and dredge the chicken breast. The dredging is just covering it in the flour. It's okay if there's a little extra because that'll come in handy with our sauce. Traditional chicken marsalas use some form of mushroom, an onion or some shallots, and some garlic. I also did some parsley as a garnish, but I was too dumb to record that. My bad. For the mushrooms, I like to go with cremini mushrooms, which are just baby versions of portobellos, and you can either brush off or wipe the excess dirt. I do not like to rinse mushrooms because it adds more water to an already watery vegetable. We'll keep the stems on for this one and just go ahead and cut them in half and then come back and slice them. It doesn't matter how thick or thin, that's up to you. I like to cut them in half first so you create a flat surface that doesn't roll around when you're slicing like this. I prefer to use shallots with this, which is traditionally used. It is a much milder flavor of onion. It's not as strong. So we're going to take off the top and the root end, put a small incision around the whole outside, and then peel it. And in a world where we want both the shallots and mushrooms to cook at an even pace, we're going to slice them as well in Slice Part 2, Return of the Slice. Rated R for strong language. Man, quarantine's really getting to me. But we need to pop our garlic, which is just smacking it underneath the flat side of a knife to get the outer peel. And we're just going to mince that, which I like to start out with a slice so that's flat, and then come back and give that a good chop and run through till it is minced. And last but not least, we're going to need some Marsala wine and some chicken broth. Reduced sodium so you can control the salt. And a beer or some wine or some liquor off camera for yourself. Let's get a pan hot over medium-high heat and wait for the shimmer, which is when you kind of rock it back and forth and you see those waves of light go through it. And with this bad camera angle, what I'm trying to show you is that when you fry or pan fry something, you can drop some flour in. If it burns, it's not good. If it doesn't, you're good to go. Let's go ahead and add our chicken paillard into that pan. Now we just want to sear both sides of this chicken. So over that medium-high heat, we want to get some color on both sides, but not really cook the inside. Once this has happened, we want to transfer it to a plate and then turn the heat down to about medium and add your mushrooms. Now, as I said before, mushrooms have a ton of water just in them naturally. So I like to add salt very early into it just to get some of that water to seep out and then season accordingly afterwards. When they've gotten some nice light brown color on them, let's make a small well in the middle and add about a tablespoon of butter. Then, when that's started to melt, we're going to go ahead and add our garlic. And once that's started to kind of cook, we'll go ahead and add our shallots. This whole process with the butter and the excess water in the mushrooms will help sweat our garlic and our shallots. And over that medium heat, we want to let that go for a short period of time till you get the onions translucent and some more color on the mushrooms. If you haven't already drank all your marsala out of boredom listening to me, go ahead and add half a cup of it to this and turn the heat down to medium-low. We want to let this simmer at this low heat for a little while until it thickens, and this will also help refine that flavor of the marsala. I like to add about a cup of chicken stock to this. This will help add a base to your sauce instead of it just being a mouthful of marsala. You can add more or less depending on how thick or thin you want that sauce to be. Depending on who you ask, some people say to put this into the oven and let it cook together. I prefer to just finish it on the stovetop covered with a lid. Either way, we need to get that chicken to 165. When we reach 165, let's go ahead and put this chicken to the side to rest for just a couple minutes and finish our sauce. I like to use 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream and reduce it for just a minute till we get that nice coating on the back or that sweet, sweet nappe. This one chicken breast was enough for both the missus and I. I just cut it into 4 pieces and topped it with our sauce and mushrooms and sprinkled the parsley. I forgot to show you earlier. And served it with potatoes and asparagus. So let's all take one last shot of marsala and see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for watching that video. There's more like it down here. And if you enjoy them, please don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, you came, you sauteed, you conquered.